Welcome to a beautiful spring day here in London. We're in Stratford and I'm going to be on this boat having a chat with my good friend Ganz, who's over from Holland. Ganz, thanks very much for joining us on Rinse TV. We've tried to make the surroundings nice and familiar for you. We've got you on a little boat. I know you
it looks like Holland.
Dutch guys like your boats and the canals and stuff. So yeah, firstly, big up for coming down. What brings you to the UK this weekend?
I have to play on Plan B,
Of course.
Friday, the Terrible Night. So I'm looking forward to play there.
Nice.
And I got some meetings. I had a studio session with artists, so quite busy.
Cool. So we'll kick off the interview a little bit about your background, how you got into music. What was your what were you listening to as a kid growing up, really?
Well, I used to listen a lot to hip hop, like Jay Dilla, M.O.P., Wu-Tang, Snoop Dogg. So I also used to drum, play the drums, and I was like, oh, I want to program my own drums on the computer, so I can make beats myself. So I did that, and yeah, now I'm producing for maybe 6-7 years. Started Fruit Loops, and since maybe 2 years in Ableton now, work out new music. And I went from hip hop to fidget, electro, two-step, get back to hip hop, and from that I used to produce dubstep for maybe 2-3 years. And now since 7-8 months I'm now as Ganz.
Cool.
Producing new music I like because the dubstep was getting bored for me.
It got quite hard, right?
Yeah.
So
in Holland everything was dubstep. So it was a bit blown up.
Yeah. I mean, you're based in Amsterdam as well,
Yeah.
right? And there was definitely a big bass music scene there, and I felt like dubstep
everybody was like, oh, I want to go to dubstep parties. So we're like, the big parties were like Oi and 50 Hertz.
Yep.
Now you also got Resist, the event they do together. So it's the biggest in Holland. So it's quite good. But yeah, I never been there, but I know the guys who play there.
Yeah. As this is kind of a bit of a new movement in Holland, a lot of people are referring it to it as the Dutch beat scene. Do you feel that a lot of the producers in the scene have come out of what was the dubstep scene in Holland?
Yeah, a lot of people used to play trap in dubstep sets. They want to throw new sounds in it. And from there a lot of people changed. They just switched from dubstep to trap. So I don't know how many people, but a lot of just produce trap now. A few of them now making sounds like I do.
Yeah.
I don't know how to call it, but the new electronic things, the future stuff.
Kind of like, it's got like a hip-hop kind of orientation rather than the sort of dubstep, you know, like more about like the kind of groove and the hip-hop style as opposed to the bass. But the bass is still there, definitely. There's definitely a lot going on in Holland at the minute. Does it feel like you're kind of building a scene out there, or is it just like a group of friends that seem to be into this sort of music, do you think?
Well, everybody talks to each other a lot, so yeah, we're building up our own small scene. But it's getting bigger and bigger because everybody likes the sounds, and they were like, oh, I want to produce that too. A lot of influence from people from America.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, they're throwing new sounds, so a lot of guys in Holland want to do that too. Like the Jersey Club things going on now. But yeah, I don't do Jersey.
No?
Because I think it's too cheesy for what I normally make. But I like to play it sometimes. But
definitely more of a kind of like dance floor orientation, like Jersey style. Yeah. Whereas I think your sound definitely lends itself more to kind of like hip hop and like grime and that kind of sound.
More the grimy stuff.
Yeah.
I used to play a lot of chords on my tracks with grimy basses. I like to make a contrast, like intros and breaks for me must be very dreamy. Yeah. And then the harder drop. So it makes people crazy when they're thinking, oh, it's just a mellow track. And then when it drops in, it's getting very hard. So I like that a lot.
We've spoken a little bit about what you've done up to this point. What have you got forthcoming in the next few months?
Well, there will be a lot of collabs. I'm now working with E-Lock on maybe 1 or 2 tracks. We're releasing it very soon. And also working with Jamba Jamba on a new EP.
Cool.
So it was quite an honor also to work with him because he's very big. He was like, oh, we should get an EP together and E-Look too. So we're now finishing it. It might be done in maybe 1 or 2 months.
Nice.
So looking for someone to put focus on it, and then hopefully it will be done soon. And after that, I'm working on still finishing the Her What I Wear EP.
Yep.
But I need to finish those vocals too, so it's a bit of a delay. And yeah, I'm working every day on new tracks, so hopefully I can drop a lot of new stuff soon.
Nice.
Maybe I got like 15 tracks already finished, so I hope to drop them.
Cool. You mentioned Who, What and Where there. You've worked with some other labels like Boom Clutch and Terrorism, obviously.
Yeah.
How did you start out sending your stuff to labels, and what was it that made you send the music to those in particular?
Well, when I started Ganz, I was like, oh, I got too much stuff, I need to release it. And everybody was like, yeah, you should check for a good label.
Mm.
So I sent it around and they were like, oh, we want to release it. So that's the first EP, and the second one was the Boom Clutch EP.
Mm-hmm.
So it was more like the future garage vibe, more housey stuff. I want to make some contrast between every EP to show people what I like, what I can produce. So also for the third EP on your label, it was like more the sound I like the most.
Yeah.
More the dreamy things and the hard drops.
Kind of like that. Remind me a lot of that purple sound, but like your own spin on it, definitely.
Yeah. This is also why I called it Purple Clutch.
Yeah.
Because when I produced the whole EP, I was like, oh, it's purple, it's purple. I don't know why, but just the color.
It definitely fits.
Yeah. And after that, everybody's like, oh, Joker, he also got the purple thing. I was like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But
it's got that vibe about it, definitely. And you just dropped a free download which has been going nuts on the internet, a remix of Flume and Hermitude's Hyper Paradise. Do you want to talk us through a little bit about the process behind that? And
well, I was checking Flume's album, and I was like, oh, I like this track, but maybe I want to take a risk and make my own flip. So I changed it a bit, add some new drums and melodies to it, new synths. And everybody was like, oh, you should drop it on the internet. Yeah. So I dropped a preview of a video, and I got a lot of response. Everybody's like, oh, when is it going to be released? And then I set up a contest for the best 5 comments why people deserve the track. So I was getting a lot of comments, and one day Flume just commented on the track like, oh, I want to get this one. So I was like, wow, he likes it. Yeah. And then I sent it to him, and he promoted today. Hermitude also contacted me. They promoted too, so
nice.
It's blown up now. It's quite good.
I think it's had 50,000 plays on SoundCloud in like since 7 p.m. last night, and it's now like midday the next day.
Hopefully it will be a lot.
Might hit 100,000 in 24 hours at this rate.
I hope so. It will be great.
So besides making music, what have you got coming up events-wise? You're obviously in the UK. We've got Terrorism on Friday night. Nice little plug there. What else you got coming up?
Well, I just came back from Austria and Berlin 3 days ago. So the 15th of February I'll go back to play in Breda. And in March I have to play with the guys from Dogtown at Tivoli, Utrecht. So it's our first night performing all together. So it's very special because we are about to drop the Dogtown EP in maybe 1 or the 2nd of March. So it will be quite good. And after that I have to play in Germany, I hope. And I got some bookings requests from Belgium as well. And hopefully all the festivals in Holland.
Nice.
I hope.
Try and pack it out in the summer.
Yeah.
Wicked. Well, thanks very much for spending some time with us. I hope we made you feel at home on the boat. And
it's good.
The rain and the weather, and that's very much what I experience when I'm in Holland, definitely. So
it's all the same, so
yeah,
it's good.
Big up Ganz, thanks very much, and looking forward to the forthcoming year and everything that it brings for you.